Hello grade 8s, welcome back to another video. This video can help you also in grade 9, 10, 11 and 12, especially if you are not understanding algebraic expressions. Foundation of it is very important. So this is going to be a very beneficial video. Now, without wasting any more of your time, let's get into the video. All right, now this is an expression that we have 3p plus 4k plus 5. So what you have to know is that in algebraic expressions, terms are separated by either addition or subtraction. So if a term has an addition in between or subtraction, it separates those terms. So we have a first term, a second term, and a third term. But if it was 3p times 4k, for instance, plus 5, 3p and 4k would have been one term. And then this would have been a separate term. Now, let's say that again. Terms in algebraic expressions are separated by addition or subtraction. So if there is 3p plus 4k plus 5, which means there are 3 terms in this expression. Because why? There is addition in between each expression. Each term, not expression, sorry. There is addition in between each term. But if there were is a division or a multiplication, we will regard that as one term. So the second thing that we have to know is that we need to know variables, coefficients, and constants. So what is a variable? A variable is a letter. So that can be X, that can be Y, which are commonly used. It can be P, it can be K. They are variables because they can be changed. So those alphabets that you see in an algebraic expressions, they're called variables. And then let's move to coefficients. Coefficients are numbers in front of variables. So this 3 is a coefficient of P, and this 4 is a coefficient of K. So when we're talking about coefficients, we are talking about the numbers in front of a variable. And what is a variable? A variable is an alphabet. Now, we'll also learn about a constant. A constant is a number that is standing by itself. It doesn't have a variable. So it's just a number like this 5. This 5 does not have an alphabet in front of it, right? So this number here is a constant. A constant is a number that is by itself and not written with a alphabet like 3k and 4k. Now, I hope you understood what are variables, coefficients, and constants. Now, here is an expression, 3x minus 4y plus 6. Can you tell me which one is a constant, a variable, and a coefficient? You can pause this video and try to figure that out. Well, you got it right if you said x and y are your variables and your 6 that is standing by itself is a constant, and this 3 and this 4 are both coefficients. All right, I hope you got all those answers right. Now we're going to be dealing with like terms and unlike terms. So we have gotten our introduction into algebra. We have known variables, coefficients, and constants. Now we have to know which terms are alike and which terms are not alike, right? So let's say you are given a question and you are asked to simplify k plus 3k. Every variable that is standing by itself without a coefficient here that has been written, it automatically tells us that the coefficient in front of this k is 1. So if a coefficient is not written to accompany a variable, that simply means that the coefficient of that variable is 1. So with this k, 1 is accompanying the k, right? Now let's go into it again. If you have an alphabet, which we call a variable, and that alphabet is standing by itself and no coefficient is accompanying the variable, that automatically tells us that the coefficient of that variable is 1, right? So it's 1k. We don't have to overemphasize it and say 1k. Well, we know k is 1. So if it was x, we know that x is 1. So there is absolutely no need to put 1 there. But you can put it for practice sake, right? Let's say this is 1k. So because this is 1k and this is 3k, it qualifies them to be like terms because they can be added, right? It's the same as saying 3 cats. This k can represent 3 cats, right? So if you have 1 cat and 3 cats, you can add that because they're in the same group of animals, which is cats. But let's say you have a cat and a dog. You can't say you have 1 dog and 1 cat. You can't bring them together. You will always have to tell that you have 1 dog and 3 cats. But because it's the same group, that's how you have to think about like terms, is that they are the same. So here you have k, 1k plus 3k. So which means it's 1 cat plus 3 cats. That will give us 4 cats. That is how we deal with this like terms, and this is how you will solve it. Now let's go to the second one. You have 5a minus 7a. You have 5 cats and you remove 7 cats from 5. Now we all know that you cannot remove 7 cats from 5, and that will give us a negative 2a. What will be left is 6, and that's 7 that we're supposed to be bringing out. It's negative because we do not have it in this 5, right? Now you can pause the video and do this one and this one. But let's get into it. Then we have 3x plus 7x. Remember, 3 dogs plus 7 dogs, which gives us, it's 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we have 10 x's. Now we have x squared to the power, this is a power 2, we call it squared. Now we say x squared, or x to the power of 2 minus 2 to the power of minus 2x to the power of 2. Now look here, I said if you have a variable that has not been represented by a coefficient, we automatically say the coefficient here is 1, right? So we have 1x squared and 2x squared. So from this 1, we have to subtract 2. We cannot do that, right? When you have your 1, you cannot subtract 2 from 1 because 1 is smaller, which will give you a negative answer, right? So this answer will be x squared. Remember, there is no need for you to write this 1, but for practice sake, we can just put it there just to make things easy while you get used to algebraic expressions. Now, let's go to 5a plus 2ba. But someone will say, but these variables are not in the same order. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because they are there. So there's AB and there's BA. It's the same thing, right? So remember what I have taught you previously. It's that we have 5A plus 2BA, right? Now what do we do with this expression? It's that we have the same product. It's just that they have been swapped around, but it's still a dog, right? Yes. Or we can say it's a dog and a cat. And here we still have a dog and a cat. Whether we put the dog first or the cat second, but it's the same thing. We have a dog and a cat and a dog and a cat. So we have 5 dogs and a cat. We have 2 dogs and a cat. And now what do we say? We say 5 plus 2. That gives us 7 dogs and cats, right? Because we are having the same amounts of dogs and cats this side, the same amount of dogs and cats this side. Now it's a pair. Let's say we're having pairs here, right? 5 pairs of dog and cats. All right, let's come this side. We have 3 plus 3k. Now remember, these are unlike terms. Why? Because we're only having a constant here, while here we're having a coefficient and a variable. You can see? So they are not the same. So your answer will be 3 plus 3k. Now, here we are having 2 different breeds of animals. We are having a dog and a pig or a cow. So there's no way we can add them together and make them the same thing. We have 3 dogs and 3 cats. You see? This is the answer. So this answer means exactly that. We have 3 plus 3k. Because in this first term, we do not have a variable. So we cannot put them together. Let's go to the second one. We have 5a minus 7b. Automatically, the variables are not the same. So we're talking 2 different breeds, right? So because we're talking 2 different breeds, we are still going to express this as 5a minus 7b. There's absolutely no way you can subtract cows from lions. You can't, because this is a group of cows, and you want to take out cows from lions. It's unheard of. So it's absolutely something that could never happen, because those are 2 groups of animals. Now you can pause this video and try the remaining ones. Now the remaining ones, so that you can see where are you. Do you understand this concept? And if you had done that, well done to you. I hope you got them all correct, because this is the answers. Well, here I have a note. We cannot add or subtract unlike terms. We cannot. We can only multiply unlike terms, but we can only add or subtract like terms. I hope you grasp that and you run with it, because that is all that you will need until you matriculate. Okay, you have to know this basics. Very, very important. All right, now we are going to multiply terms, right? As I have said previously, that we cannot multiply like terms. We can multiply like terms and unlike terms, but we can add or subtract unlike terms, right? So let's come here. We have 5p times 4. Now, how do you approach this multiplication of unlike terms? Is that you take this numbers, you multiply numbers together. So numbers go with numbers with multiplications, right? In addition, we would have called it, this is a coefficient and this is a constant. So there was no way a constant and a coefficient would go together because these are separate terms, but now it is one term and we have to multiply it in multiplication. So this is one term. We take the numbers. Now with multiplication is very different from addition and subtraction. We take the numbers and we multiply the numbers, and then we'll multiply the variables. Here there's no variable, so this variable will still be p. You would still be like that. So we do not say we're multiplying it by 0. No, we just take it as it is and put it here. But we will multiply your numbers, right? Yes. So here we are on the second one. 5 times 4 is 20. So we just take this p here. So we have 5p times a negative 4. So we still take the numbers. 5 in your calculator, you say 5 times a negative 4. And that's going to give you negative 20. So we still take the p as it is. And then we have p times a p. Now I am going to be doing an exponent video next, but we might as well talk about this now. The exponent rule says when the bases are the same, we add the exponents. So when you have p times p, you just take 1p. Anything like this is to the power of 1. Everything here is the power of 1. Everything to the power of 1. If you say 2 to the power 1, it's still 2. So every number is to the power of 1. Every number is the power of 1 if nothing has been specified as well, whether it's the power of 2, exponent 2 or what. Or it has been to the power of, this is to the power of 1, this is the power of 1, power of 1, if there's no specification. So here it has been specified, it has not been specified as well. It just say p times p. So we automatically know when there's no specification that any number or constant are multiplying each other or adding is to the power of 1, right? So p times p equals to p to the power of 2. So we have 2 p's basically. So this p is 1 here and this p is to the power of 1. So we just take, because the bases are the same, it's p here, the variables are the same, it's p here and it's p here. We just take one variable and then say power 1 plus 1, which will give us 2. So we will have 2 p's. When you multiply those p's together, they are gonna give you 2 p's. Now we have 5p to the power of 3. This to the power of 3, we can call it cubed, is 5p cubed times 4p. Again, you take the numbers first. You multiply the numbers. 4 times 5, it's a 20. Now you have p here, p this side. You did what you do. You do what you did here. The p's, you have to multiply them. They are the same. You can multiply a number and a alphabet. So you multiply numbers separately and you multiply alphabets separately. So we have 5 times 4, that gives us 20. And then we have p to the power of 3 and p to the power of 3. Now this p, this power, only affects this p. If there was another one here, maybe here, it was going to affect the 5, right? So this power only affects the p, not the whole expression, okay? It only affects, if there was one here, this has 1 automatically. We said if there is nothing specified, it's to the power of 1. So here is 5 to the power of 1, p to the power of 3, which is cubed. Now this one only applies for this 5 and this 3 only applies to this p. So we have these p's to multiply them together. This is to the power of 3. The bases are the same. We add our exponents. So we'll say p, here is the p, 3 plus 1, and then that is 20p to the power of 4. This 4 does not apply for the 20, it only applies for the p. So if they give you to the powers, they will specify here on the top, this p will be separated. It will only apply to 1, like that. It will only apply to 5, and this one to 3. So they cannot put a power in front of a number that is not going to apply to. You see? So it's only applying here because it's in front of. So a power applies to the number or the constant in front of a variable in front of it, like that. Okay? So we have 5a times 4b equals to 20ab, right? So this is 5. We add the numbers. So 20a, it's still a, and b, it's still b, because we don't have the 2. So you do a here, you do b here. They are both to the power of 1, as they are to the power of 1 here. And then we have 5a times ab. So 5 times 4, it's 20. We have a here, we have a here. So the bases are the same. We add the exponent. Is to the power of 1, is to the power of 1. This one's also to the power of 1. So we say a, we add the exponent, it's 2. And then b is by itself. There's nothing to multiply it. So you combine what is the same with multiplication. You are going to combine. If it's you have 2 answers and you have something that is not the same, no, you are going to combine what is the same. So your answer, you see here we have 2a. You're going to multiply this 2a's here, and b is by itself. It doesn't have any friend this side that we can multiply it together. So we're going to leave it like that. I hope you're understanding, guys. This is very easy and very important for your math lifespan. Whenever you're still in high school, you are really gonna have to understand this. Guys, if you're watching this video so far, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave us a comment just to tell if this video was helpful or not. Dividing terms. Now here we're talking about division, where we are dividing algebraic expressions. Now we have 12p over 4. This is the term that we have. Now remember, this is a coefficient, this is a variable, and this is a constant. So what you do with division, you also deal with numbers and alphabets and alphabets. That's what you do. So you're gonna say 12 divided by 12 divided by 4. That will give us a 3. And then p is like that. We put p as it is. Now here we have 12 again. 12p squared minus divided by -4. So when you have a minus and a number like that, it's a negative, right? This one is positive and this one is a negative, indicated by this minus. This minus sign, it means negative. So 12, in your calculator, you say 12 divided by -4. That gives us a -3. And then p, we still put it like that because there's no p here that we can work the p with. Now on number 3, we have 12p cubed over 3p, and 12 divided by 3 is 4, right? So we just say 12 divided by 3, and that gives us a 4. And we have a p here and a p here. Now, and this exponential rule says when the bases are the same and you have a division sign in between, you subtract the exponents. That is what it is saying. Please check out my next video. I will be doing exponents. Yes, I will be dealing with exponents to make them easy to understand. Now, which means 12 divided by 3, it's 4. And then we've got p here on top. So this p here is to the power of 3. This one is to the power of 1. When nothing is written, we automatically know it's to the power of 1. So this 3 on top, the on top one will always minus the bottom one. So don't say just because the bottom one is bigger than the numerator, now you are no longer subtracting. You know the bottom, subtract the upper one, subtract the bottom one. Always, it's always like that. You will see in my exponents video how we deal with negative exponents. So we have p, this is the upper 3 minus 1, and this will give us 4 to the power of 4p to the power of 2. This is the answer. And then here we have 6ab, right? So this is 6 divided by 2, that will give us 3. And then we have a, just like we did here. A doesn't have anything to minus, so we just put it like that. And then we have b. Remember, this b is to the power of 1. This one as well is to the power of 1. So you say b 1, and then you're gonna say b 1 minus 1, and that will be 0, right? So you're not gonna write the b. Thank you very much, guys, for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and you find it quite informative and is helping you in your maths understanding. Come back for the next video. I will be doing exponents, which is tomorrow. Thank you very much. Without wasting any more of your time, guys, God bless. Enjoy your holidays.